Joey doesn't share food!
If you ask anyone who grew up in the 90s what they were doing on Thursday nights, chances are they were watching Friends. So stay tuned for the one with the top 10 best food-related Friends moments.
Ross, we're kind of in the middle of dinner here.
Oh, well, I already ate, but sure.
The one with the meatball sub.
So you risked your life for a sandwich.
In the ride-along episode, Ross, Chandler, and Joey all tag along with Phoebe's then-boyfriend, Gary the cop, during a routine patrol. After a car backfire is mistaken for a gunshot, Joey is quick to lean over Ross to protect his dear friend. Everyone calls him a courageous hero, which rubs Chandler the wrong way because why would Joey save Ross and not him? After confronting him, Joey confesses. He wasn't trying to save Ross, he was trying to save the sandwich that was next to him. Basically, Joey risked his life for his sandwich. Still honorable, somehow, we think. Joey defended his actions by saying it was instinct and that it was the greatest sandwich in the world.
This is the greatest sandwich in the world!
Everyone knows that Joey doesn't share food, but as a way to show how much Chandler means to him, he offers him his sandwich. Well, just a bite, but still, it must be one heck of a meatball sandwich.
I thought you were showing me how much I mean to you. Yeah, with a bite.
The one with Phoebe's cookies.
Waiting for cookies.
In the third episode of the 7th season, Monica is determined to recreate the recipe for Phoebe's grandmother's chocolate chip cookies, which had been used in her family for generations. After 22 batches of cookies, not all edible, looking at you, batch 16, Monica is still unable to get the recipe perfectly right.
These are pretty good.
Yeah, but not as good as batch 17.
Which one was that?
Especially after Joey eats the last of the model cookie. All hope seems lost until Phoebe reveals that her grandmother got the recipe from her grandmother, Nestle Toulouse. Ding ding ding! Nestle Toulouse, aka Nestle Toll House. This was the famous chocolate chip cookie recipe Monica was trying to recreate all this time.
I cannot believe that I just spent the last 2 days trying to figure out that recipe.
The one with Ross's sandwich.
Someone at work ate my sandwich.
Well, what did the police say?
Okay, let's be honest. We all felt for Ross a little during the heartbreaking moment he realized his colleague had not only taken his sandwich, but threw most of it away in the trash. His beloved, highly anticipated Thanksgiving sandwich. After a divorce, sudden homelessness, and trouble getting back on his feet, this sandwich was the only good thing going on in his life, after all. His iconic outburst eventually cost him his job, and he even ended up having to take a sabbatical because of it. But his anger was kind of understandable. He did put a note on it. We would be lying if we said we've never wanted to try the moist maker at least once. Ross describes it with such passion, it's hard to imagine it's not exquisite. In season 5, we learned that according to Ross, Monica makes the best leftover turkey sandwiches, and of course we believe him.
I call it the moist maker.
Her secret? An extra slice of gravy-soaked bread in the middle to make the whole thing, well, moist. Countless recipes can be found online and in the official Friends cookbook to recreate the deliciousness of the moist maker.
I don't know, man. Can I have some of that sandwich?
The one with the whole turkey.
Here you go.
Right. You're the turkey carver now.
Every holiday season, we were greeted with a crazy storyline, all involving some elegant, appetizing Thanksgiving feast and some good old-fashioned drama. There was that time Chandler made the best cranberry sauce ever from a can, or when the whole dinner was ruined because Underdog got away from the parade, or when the I Hate Rachel Green Club was outed. The list is endless. But one of the most iconic scenes was when Joey took on the challenge of eating a whole turkey in one sitting by himself. Monica didn't want to make a turkey for just 3 people, but Joey protested. Thanksgiving without turkey is like the 4th of July with no apple pie or Friday with no 2 pizzas. So after putting on his Thanksgiving pants, or what the rest of the world likes to call maternity pants, he gets started on the 19-pound turkey. After Joey defeated the giant bird, he did get the meat sweats, but surprisingly, then again, maybe not, he still had room for some pie.
Is that pie?
Yeah, you want some?
Just cut me a little sliver.
The one with all the pizza.
Yeah, no, Joey doesn't share food.
Spoiler alert, Joey loves food. Okay, it's no big secret, and he's made his stand on food pretty clear throughout the 10 years of the show. From chocolatey desserts to spaghetti on the floor, nothing can stand in the way of Joey and food. But there is one thing he is particularly fond of, something he could eat all day, every day. Heck, he even stole one from the second floor once. Yes, you guessed it, it's pizza.
Pizza! We like pizza! Get out!
Joey treats pizza like literal royalty and even has a throne for it. And how could he not? Pizza seems to make an appearance in almost every episode, and the majority of his diet appears to consist of the hot pies. Usually on a Friday night, only the true fans of Friends will know. One pizza isn't enough. You need to order the Joey special, 2 pizzas, and one with extra anchovies, please. Joey makes it clear that no matter how much you've eaten, there is always room for more pizza. While Joey is the pizza expert, everyone else has had their own love story with NYC pizza. Whether it was on Ladies' Night while spying on George Stephanopoulos, or when Ross attempted to flirt with the delivery girl, pizza has practically been a character on the show all by itself, as it should.
Ordered pizza without me?
Yeah, but we were thinking about you. We ordered the Joey special.
The one with all the cheesecake.
Wow, my God, so creamy.
How would you react if one day that said cheesecake magically showed up on your doorstep? Would you find and then return it to its rightful owner? Or would you do like Chandler and Rachel and eat the whole thing because it was an honest mistake? Obviously, they felt bad about keeping the cake for themselves instead of giving it back to Mrs. Braverman downstairs, but apparently not guilty enough to refrain from eating a second one that has also been wrongly delivered. With delicious food sometimes comes bickering, and the two thieves begin fighting over the gooey cake, splitting it into 2 slices.
What do we use to split it?
Well, the inevitable happens, and both slices end up on the hallway floor. Most people would just call it quits and pick up the mess, but not them. There is nothing like watching a desperate Chandler and Rachel scrounge around for crumbs of cheesecake on the ground, still squabbling and protecting their side. Then, of course, Joey being Joey, walks by, pulls out a fork from his shirt pocket, and gets ready to dig in.
Are you eating the cheesecake without me?
The one with the fried stuff with cheese.
Eating chips is like stretching.
By now, it's pretty clear who likes to eat the most on Friends. Why, it's Joey Tribbiani, of course. He's proven time and again that a little extra food never hurt anybody, like that time he ate everything that was in the fridge because it broke, even whatever was in that brown jar. It's also pretty clear who the best cook is, Monica. As head chef of Jabu's, she knows a thing or two about good food. It makes you wonder, how come the biggest food lover and the best chef didn't end up together?
What would happen if you two actually had hooked up?
Well, while Monica married Chandler and Joey had, well, a new chick and duck, that possibility was still explored briefly in season 7, and the results are just about as catastrophic as you would expect. In the episode, while imagining what her life might look like if she married Joey, Monica pictures a morbidly obese Joey waddling into the room in time for dinner. And since Joey doesn't really believe in salads, what would Monica make the most? Fried stuff with cheese, his favorite, and lots of it.
How you doing?
The one with all the candy.
Ross, the neighbors ate all my candy.
While she's notorious for her moist maker, her Christmas candies are also pretty hard to beat, at least according to her very impatient neighbors and Joey. She originally made these little drops of heaven in an effort to get to know the neighbors better and get into the holiday spirit, but it quickly backfired.
Monica, how did this happen? I thought you had this all planned out. Do you want me to cry?
The demand became overwhelming, and she had to stay up all night to feed the sugar-rushed, restless candy beggars outside her door. And Joey, again. Now dubbed the Candy Lady, Monica was on the verge of a breakdown, and she even got a death threat slipped under the door. Thanks for that one, Joey. But because of Monica's stubbornness, this only pushed her even more and motivated her to keep going, until Chandler, her knight in shining armor, intervened. Perhaps next time she'll stick with the good old Christmas cards.
Bring out the candy!
Yeah, lady, give us candy.
The One With The Trifle.
Technical question. How do you know when the butter is done?
Rachel. She came to us a spoiled runaway bride and left as a mother and executive at Ralph Lauren. Her character grew tremendously over the years, but there's one thing that never really took off for her cooking skills. That's okay though, it's not everyone who has the talent to cook delicious meals like Monica. However, she did try her best to make the finest trifle for Thanksgiving dinner all by herself. She wanted to prove, not only to Monica, but also to herself, that she could do this one on her own. The truth is, it would have been quite a success had she followed the recipe faithfully. You see, the recipe called for ladyfingers, jam, custard, raspberries, banana, whipped cream, which she made from scratch, and, well, funnily enough, beef sautéed with peas and onions. A little suspicious, to say the least. Well, it turns out this epic fail was due to the pages of her cookbook being stuck together. As a result, Rachel made a dessert that was half a trifle and half a shepherd's pie.
Rachel, there you are. Come on, let's serve that dessert already.
Needless to say, it did not taste good. It tasted like feet, apparently. Actually, there is one jolly fella who quite enjoyed the miscalculated treat, Joey.
It tastes like feet. I like it.
The One With The Mockolate.
Does your chocolate doesn't do that?
Nothing can replace chocolate, not even Mockolate, a fake chocolate substitute introduced on the show. Monica always puts her heart and soul into everything she cooks, but that doesn't mean that everything is going to be a success, especially if the ingredients are questionable. Remember that episode where Monica landed a job creating recipes for Mockolate? The company wanted Mockolate to become Thanksgiving's new official ingredient, and we're all thankful it didn't because yikes! Mockolate is a horrible, potentially dangerous type of food product. Needing the money, Monica pretended to love it and created 3 Thanksgiving-themed desserts: pumpkin pie with a Mockolate cookie crumb crust, Mockolate cranberry cake, and Mockolate chip cookies. Despite the very small amount of Mockolate used in the recipes, let's just say it wasn't a big hit with the others. According to Phoebe, this is what evil must taste like. Got a favorite Friends moment? Let us know. Tap or click on another great video, hit that subscribe button, and ring that bell to join our notification squad.